Hello and welcome everyone, Winter is here and today we're gonna have a look on the Tekken 7 Season 3's newest patch, released version 3.30. On this patch there's not only changes around characters from the patch notes, but they're also releasing a new character named Ram. And together they also release a new stage which is named Cave of Enlightenment, which is actually a pretty nice stage since it has a balcony and a floor break. Alongside there are also few changes in the game, which is features like practice, frame data display, my replay and tips. Of course there are also customization items, which is the bearded man suit, sunglasses has been added for Akuma and Geese, and of course my favorite is the t-shirt that Ganyu actually got, which is the I Love Julia t-shirt. Now of course there are a lot of people who are quite unhappy about this patch release, and of course there are some people who actually don't give a mind about these changes, but unfortunately this is not our primary subject in this video. On this video we are primarily going to have a look on the changes that are actually in the patch notes of this season version, which pretty much means that we're actually going to have a look on the characters that are changed and what are we going to see from now on until the release of something new. And of course I will reduce the amount of jokes that actually got out since the release of the patch notes.
Why would you want to sidewalk if you can block and launch, if you know it is coming like all other moves?
Now from what I can actually see, there are actually few characters who only got one or at least two moves change. Some of them actually got 3 to 4, and of course some of them actually got nothing because they're not on the list. So yeah, those who are not on the list, you got nothing.
You get nothing! You lose! Good day, sir!
With that all being said, let's have a look on what has been changed on these characters from the patch notes. So first we're going to start with characters that only got one move change. And of course these guys are Brian, Dragunov, Leo, and Leroy. So first up we're going to start with Brian, and Brian only got one move change, which is the football kick, what I actually call it. The damage has been changed from 21 to 23, and also gained the frame advantage upon hit from 4 frames to plus 5 frames. The second one is Dragunov. Now Dragunov got a down 1+2, which actually fixed an issue in which the move properties are different from those of down 3. Leo got also fixed an issue where the distance from the opponent when the move hits was different from counter hits. And of course lastly, Leroy has a fixed an issue as well, which was his 1+2 on the first hit. So what it actually did was fixing an issue where the hitting opponent's back had them switching places. So these were the smallest and probably the only changes that got with these 4 characters. So now we're gonna have a look on Eddie Gordo. Now Eddie Gordo only got few moves changes, actually only 2. So the first move is up back 1 and up 1, which fixes an issue which the opponent's properties are different from other characters. Now I wasn't really sure what this was all about, but I could be doing something wrong here. Oh, don't ask me now. That's what it says on the that's what it says. That is exactly what they say. I don't understand this. I honestly don't understand this. Is that even a move? And the second one is his running tree, which increases the range of the attack. So these were only these two moves that AD got from his changes. And pretty much that's pretty it. That's pretty much it for AD. That's it. So now we're gonna have a look on Akuma. Now Akuma got few changes. So the first one is his Greater Fireball or Greater Hadouken Fireball, whatever you wanna call it. But it actually changed from the frame advantage when it's blocked from -9 to -12. It also changed frame advantage upon hit from -1 to -4. And then we have his down 4, which changed the damage from 20 to 17. And his forward 4 no longer launches on counter hit, which pretty much means that it's only going to put the opponent as a crouching position on counter hit.
Bring it on. I'll destroy you all.
So Geese actually got his Deadly Rave change damage. So the last hit got actually down from 25 to 20 damage, which actually means he only gave around 60 damage. And then Quarter Circle back to 4 actually changed the damage from 20 to 15. His back 1-2 changed the frame advantage when blocked from the opponent by 12 frames now, and of course it decreased the distance between the character and the opponent when the move is blocked. It also changed the frame advantage upon hit from 4 frames to 1 frame. Plus 1 frames of course. And of course his Wild Rising tree has now been decreased the move's tracking. So you can pretty much sidestep this to the right, yeah, if you're quick enough. So now we're gonna have a look on the Asuka Kazama. Now Asuka Kazama also got some few changes on the patch notes, so let's have a look on it. So Asuka's 3-4 now decreased the distance between the character and the opponent when the move hits. Also her forward 1 into down 4 also shortened recovery time when cancelling the move with down back by 2 frames. The next one is her 2+3, which changed the time of the punch parry's effect, so it's actually now 4 to 15 frames instead of 7 to 15 frames. So her down 1+2 fixing an issue where the mid-air damage differed from the damage on ground. It also reduced the strength of the pushbacks, so it made it the move easier to land. It also changed the time of crouching status, so it's actually now 10 to 39 frames instead of 15 to 39 frames. And lastly, her Wild Rising 1 reduced the strength of the pushback and made the move easier to land. So now we're gonna have a look on Lily. So the first one is her forward 3, which changed the move to send the opponent spinning when it lands as counter hit. The next one is her down 1+2, which reduced the strain of the pushback and made the move easier to land. Also increased the range of the attack when successfully stopping the opponent's attack. Lily's back 3+4 also shortened the recovery time by 4 frames. So she can almost do the haha step just like Lei. And lastly, Lily's Quarter Circle 2 also changed the frame advantage when blocked, so it's actually now -9 instead of -10. So now we're gonna have a look on Ling Xiaoyu. So the first one is the down 3-4, which changed the move to send the opponent spinning when it hits them mid-air. The second one is Ling's down back 4, which actually now do 14 damage instead of 12. Ling's back 2-2 also changed the damage, now do 15 instead of 10, and changed the opponent's behavior when the move lands as a counter hit, which pretty much means that the second hit now do a combo as a counter hit. Length's back tree also changed the frame advantage, so on block it is now +2 frames instead of -4. Her while crouching down forward 4-4 and her phoenix forward 4-4 now changed to 13 damage each hit instead of 10 damage each hit. So the last one is Length's back tree, which actually gained a frame advantage when blocked, so it's actually now -14 instead of -19. It also shortened the recovery time after the move hits by 3 frames. This pretty much makes Length a little bit more safe when she is in the back stance while doing back tree. So Lei actually also got few move changes. So the first one is his 1-1, which decreased the distance between the character and the opponent when the first hit is blocked. It also increased the damage from the second hit from 12 to 15. The next one is Lei's down back 4 and then holding forward, which speed up the timing which the opponent attack can be blocked by 5 frames. The next one is Lei's Snake 4, which actually changed the damage from 13 to 15. And lastly there is the Lei's Dragon 3, which actually changed the damage, so it's now do 14 damage. It also changed the frame advantage from when blocked, so it's no longer is -15 but actually -13. And then also changed the frame advantage upon hit, so it's actually +4 frames now instead of +2. So it appears that Hwoarang also got some few changes on this patch. So the first one is his 4-3, which changed the damage from 12 to 14. That pretty much means that his last hit do 14 damage instead of 12. Also, Hwoarang's forward neutral down and then down forward 4 now increased the lower range of the attack. Also, Hwoarang's forward neutral down forward 3 changed the frame advantage when blocked, so it's actually now -8 instead of -10. Hwoarang's while rising 4-4 also got some changes with the damage, so it's actually now 16 instead of 13. And of course it is the last hit of Hwoarang's while rising 4-4. Hwoarang's sidestep 4 also increased the lower range of the attack, so that pretty much means that it actually now hits grounded. Hwoarang's right stance down for 3 now changed the frame advantage when blocked, so it's actually now -9 instead of -11. Also, his right stance back 2 also got a change, which is now +4 on block instead of +2 on block. And lastly, his right flamingo 4 now do 14 damage instead of 11.
Try showing me a good time.
Ana's 2-3 now decreased the distance between the character and the opponent when the move hits. Also, her down forward 4 has been changed the damage, so it's actually now do 17 instead of 14. Ana's Chaos Judgment 3 also changed, so the opponent is counted as being mid-air when counter-hitting. Also, her while rising 3 decreased the distance between the character and the opponent when the move hits. And the same also goes for Ana's while crouching down forward 2.
Going somewhere?
Nina's down back 2 now changed the opponent's behavior when the move lands as a counter hit. Also, her down back 3 is now changed the frame advantage, so it's actually now +4 frames instead of +3 frames. And of course, Nina's bitch slapping is now actually a homing attack. It's just as it is now, that's how it is. Nina's quarter circle 3 now changed the time of crouching status, so it's actually now 10 to 49 frames instead of 16 to 49 frames. Nina's sidestep 4 is no longer -15 on block, but instead -40. Lee's down back 3 now increased the damage, so it's actually now 15 instead of 30. It also decreased the distance between the character and the opponent when the moves hits. Lee's back 4 now also shortened the recovery time after the move misses by 5 frames. Lee's back 3+4 now actually do a wall bounce. And of course the last one is the Lee's parry and then pressing 4 afterwards, which actually got changed, so the move actually sends the opponent spinning when it hits the mid-air. So on this patch, Miguel also got some few changes. So the first one is his race drive, which actually now changes the opponent's behavior on the second hit, which pretty much means that he can actually now do a full combo out of this move. Miguel's Savage Stance 3-4 now hits okay, I give up.
Consecutively.
Actually, what this word means is just one after another without interruption. So that pretty much means that it is a chain. And of course, lastly, we have Miguel's Savage Stance down back 3, which actually now do 23 damage instead of 20. So now we're gonna have a look on the last ones, the mashimas. Now these mashimas are of course Heihachi, Kazuya, and Devil Jin. Each of these characters got their Electro Rain Guard Fist shorten the recovery time after the move misses by 3 frames. Which probably means that it might be quite difficult to punish Electro Rain Guard Fist whenever this move whiffs, or whenever you duck the Electro Rain Guard Fist. Kazuya, however, got his down back 4 increased the lower range of the attack, and Devil Jin got his Wild Rising 2 reduced the strength of the pushback and made it easier to land. Now only Kazuya and Devil Jin among their Mishimas got their health sweep change, so what they actually did was increasing the move's tracking, which pretty much means that you can no longer sidestep. However, there are still few characters that might be able to sidestep it. I've seen Lele and Brian do it, but of course there are not all, but there are quite few that can sidestep this health sweep. So if you are Kazuya main, you're probably going to have this lovely smile on your face. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, smile. Smile, Kazuya main, smile. So these were the Tekken 7 Season 3's version 3.30. Now, I am definitely going to spend my time with Falcon Ram, going to play him a little bit and see how much fun I'm going to have with this character. But until then, I'll see you guys next time, and winter's out. Take care, everyone.